Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you this double triangle fun fold, a fun fold made by the closing of two triangles on the front. This card uses a lot of new products that are available today in an early release in a bundle starting May 1st, 2018. It's the Share What You Love suite. We have 3 different bundles, so make sure you pay attention to the blog post so you can get all the materials and all the ways that you can purchase this suite in 3 different ways and get your hands on these beautiful products. So to make this card, we're going to be using the Love What You Do stamp set. This is a beautiful stamp set that has a really nice font in it, some watercolor wash images that cover over some of the floral images in the set. And also, as you can see, the striking thing on this card is this gorgeous paper. You can see that pearlized metallic sheen on this particular design. This is the Share What You Love Specialty Designer Series paper. There are 24 sheets. It's a heavyweight cardstock. It's like not as heavy as cardstock, but it's getting there pretty close. And it has 24 sheets in it, 6 designs, and 4 of those designs have this beautiful metallic pearlized sheen to them. So on this card, this technique is nothing new, the double triangle fun fold, but I did see a beautiful card that Jeannie Stark did, and she used these colors in the scheme here on her card. So then I just got so inspired by it, I decided to make one myself. So to make this card, we need to get this template here, these 2 triangles that fold over on the front. So to do that, I'm going to show you using my Stampin' trimmer, and bear with me that I have to put my trimmer this way, so kind of make your brain turn a little bit here because my tripod is not with me. So what the first thing I did is I took an 8.5 by 11 piece of Tranquil Tide cardstock. I scored it at 5.5 on the 11-inch side, and then I scored it at 4.25 on the 8.5-inch side. So then I just had 4 equal quadrants. So then what you're going to do is you're going to open up the clear guide, and you're going to put one tip of one corner, and then the opposite on a diagonal corner, you're going to put the other tip. So just make sure, sometimes when you're doing it, they move, but make sure you've got one tip here, one tip down here. So you've got them in that cutting groove, and then you will just put down your clear cutting guide here that has the ruler on it, and we're going to slide our cutting blade up. Now you can also do this by taking out the scoring blade. You just bring it down here to this open part down here, pop it out, and then you can get the full cut. But it's just as easy just to take it up through the middle on that diagonal, and then as you can see, you do have a little part of it here that is not cut, and all you have to do is take your paper snips and just go up to the corner, and it's done that easily, and then you don't have to fuss around with taking your cutting blade out. Now you have 2 triangles here, as you can see. Now that is going to make you 2 different cards, but when you fold these 2 different cards, as you can see here, let me move this out of our way here. As you can see here, they're going to be folded a little bit differently because of the way we cut it. Because I like to fold on the mountain side so that they have a nice scored folded edge. So if you end up with these cards and have your triangles the opposite way, the only thing you got to be careful of is when you go to put this designer paper on the front of your triangles, just be careful that you cut it in the right way. For instance, you need to cut this card. This card needs to have a triangle that has a cut this way. But on this card, if I cut this way, my triangles aren't going to fit. You've got to look at the way your triangles are. Believe me, I have done this so many times. So you're going to see here, you're going to need to cut whatever way your card is. You just make sure to cut it either this way so that your triangles match up on there, or if you're cutting it on this side, you would have to cut it on this diagonal. So just make sure you don't cut it the opposite way because it does matter depending on the way your triangles are. So let's just make this card here, okay? So we would go ahead and put this on here and we'd say, oh, okay, we need to cut on the diagonal from the left upper to the bottom right. And so to do that, just going to grab my Stampin' trimmer. This time you don't have to put your brain in extra double duty here because we can just clean up our little workspace here. We can just put the whole trimmer there. So what did we say? Oh, I almost did it. Okay, so it's going on this way, so I need my diagonal to match. So I'm going to put the upper left in the cutting groove and the lower right in the cutting groove, and then just make sure my points are right in the cutting groove. And then I just go, see, my paper moved on me because I wasn't holding it strong enough. If you do have a problem getting it to start on one of the corners, you can start in the middle of your paper, go down, and then go back up. Okay, now we have our triangles. And in this video, they're going to match. There you go. You can see there. Okay, we'll get our sturdy little Stampin' trimmer out of the way. So the next thing we're going to do is just adhere our triangles onto the front of the card. So we're just going to take some of our favorite adhesive. It could be our Tombow glue. It could be tear and tape. I'm just using snail here because it's handy and sticky. And then we're just going to put a border right, open that one up, and then you just line it up there in the corner and put your triangle down, okay? And then we're gonna do the same thing with this triangle. Oop, turn it the right way there, Sin. Okay, there we go. Get our adhesive on there. There we go. And we are going to put this triangle on, just giving it a border here. Okay, so now we have our triangles on the front of our card. The next thing I did is I want to build up this focal point here. I'm going to be using these new doilies, these pearlized doilies. I'm not sure if you probably can't see in the video, but they have like a pearlized sheen to them. They're really pretty. So I wanted to put that on the front of the card, but I wanted to mix and match some of the colors here. So what I did is I punched out a 2-inch circle of Tranquil Tide and a 2 1/4 inch circle of Tranquil Tide. And then I'm going to be using a 2-inch circle out of this mint macaron. So the mint macaron is 2 inches, and then this border is 2 1/4. And then when I come over to this side here, I wanted it to have a nice clean look on the inside, but I knew if I didn't match up my 2 1/4 inch circles just perfectly, that you would see it from the front, so I just went with the 2-inch circle on the back before I'd adhered it to the front. So to do that, what I'm going to do is do a little Stampin' first. So what I did is I used my Memento Black and I stamped the sentiment, "I'm lucky to have a friend like you." I like to do my inking upside down. It seems like I have better control, especially with our foam pads that are a little juicier. But oh my, I was using these new stamp pads. Oh my gosh, they're just beautiful. They stamp so wonderfully. That defoaming agent that's now in them, it's amazing. So what I did is I just stamped that. And then what I did is I added a little bit of some flowers. But what I did to this one is I like this cluster of flowers here, but I only wanted these 3. And a couple times I stamped it and then I wiped this off, but I was not being neat enough. So what I did is I just clipped it right in the middle, as you can see here, which is no problem because I can always pop them back together if I want. Remember, just clip them, pop them right back. But I just wanted to use this little cluster here. So I just inked up that trio of flowers there. And then I just kind of put them right around the U because I wanted them to fit into the 2-inch circle. So there I added a little embellishment of a stamp there. And then I'm just going to take that 2-inch punch And I'm going to punch out my sentiment. So there, we've got a great sentiment punched out there. And then we're just going to adhere, this sentiment is going to be adhered to this tranquil tide. But before we do that, we want to build up the back of this with some fun embellishments here. I'm using this mint macaron. Now what I'm going to do is put some adhesive on the back here, this 2-inch circle that we just stamped, and I'm going to put maybe I put this mint. No, I'm going to put this piece here too. So what I did is I took a piece of this mint macaron 5/8 inch ribbon. It's on the clearance rack, so if you can grab it now, since mint is coming back as one of our colors. And what I did is I just took and put, I cut 2 pieces of a black and a mint macaron that would cover the front of the card. And then I just did a little decorating here. Just played around with it, give it a little bit of, just one of those things that when you're trying to be random, it's hard to do. So what I did is I just put these 2 pieces here, and it pulled out the mint in the card and the black, and then I took a piece of this Tranquil Tide. Now Tranquil Tide Baker's Twine is found in this beautiful Share What You Love embellishment kit that's going to be in the catalog. It has Tranquil Tide, it has some white, almost like a thread-like string. It's got some pretty labels in it, and some little paper clips, and some pretty metallic silver flower buttons that are self-adhesive here that we're going to use. So what I did is I just took some of this Tranquil Tide and I just snipped off a part of it, and I just put it onto the back of the sentiment, and then I just adhered that to the front of the circle of the sentiment. Just trim off a little bit of the baker's twine that's showing, and then I just removed this little piece of adhesive here. Oh, I'm just having a time today, kids. Okay, there we go. Get off that. Put this twine a little closer together here, and then I just put that there. There we go. And then what I want to do is I want to pop this off of this 2 1/4 inch. So what I just did is took some dimensionals, and I just put my dimensionals on the back of this label I made, and then remove the dimensional backs. Oh, well, that dimensional needs to move a little bit. So there we go. And then I adhered it to this. Isn't that pretty? And then I took and I added this to my doily. So to do that is I took some of my Stampin' Snail, okay, my snail adhesive, and then I got it to where it was right in the middle of the metallic doily. And then I took this 2-inch one and I covered the back. Just like I said, I did that so that in case it showed on the front. Okay, there we've got a beautiful embellished area. Now, when you go to add this, you can't put any adhesive here. So what I did is I just put some adhesive right on that middle part of the card, because then I knew I wouldn't accidentally put some over too far. There we go. And then I just put it onto the front. And then when you're done with your card, you see, oh, maybe I want to trim this down a little bit. I couldn't seem to find anything today here. Okay, so there we got a cute little card. And then what I did on the inside of it is I used this beautiful floral image here. This beautiful floral image here, and I just inked it up with my Memento Black. And then I just went and I got the 3 posies right there. And those images were there. And then I just took my Mint Macaron ink pad. And oh, I was so excited this color came back. I didn't realize how much I loved it until I started playing with it again. So I just inked it up. And you just kind of randomly put it over the flowers. Gives this nice watercolor effect. And you don't even have to stamp off with Mint Macaron because it's such a light color. So there we have the inside of our card. We just need to put a little snail in the corners there. Don't put too much snail on. I think I just ran out of snail through the back of your cards because then you'll have lumpy bumpies on the inside of your card. So then I just came back here and I made a nice 1/8 inch border by using a 4 by 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4, and that decorated the inside. Look how pretty when you first open it up, you see the mint and the black, just like on the front of the card. So there you have it. A super simple card once you know that little technique with the Stampin' Trimmer. So you can use this beautiful Designer Series paper, the Share What You Love Designer Series. It's a specialty paper with a metallic pearlized finish on 4 of the 6 designs. You get 24 heavyweight sheets. And then you also can use the pearlized doilies and then the embellishments and the Share What You Love embellishments that come with the, they have some tags in them, these beautiful metallic flowers here. And I hope you enjoyed this card. I enjoyed making it and showing it with you. To you. So let's just make sure that you know everything about this Share What You Love bundle. So go to my blog, cindyleebedesigns.com, and you'll see all the different ways that you can purchase the bundle. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. So see what works for you. And I will be having a special gift given with anybody who makes a purchase in May. So make sure you go to the blog, cindyleebedesigns.com. If you have any questions, you can call me at 724-323-2296, or you can email me, cindyleeb@gmail.com. Thanks for buzzing by, friends.